I leaned back in my chair, just taking it all in. The place was packed, music thumping, lights flickering, people logging like nothing mattered. And yet, all I could think was, why the hell did Ryan Caldwell pick my wife? Outta all the gorgeous women in this place. Why Rachel? And more than that, why'd she say yes? Why'd she leave me? Our kids were finally getting old enough to handle things on their own, starting to drift into their own little lives. Rachel and I had talked months ago about how we were going to enjoy that time. Travel maybe. Reconnect. That was the plan. Or so I thought. But sitting there, it hit me. Maybe her future didn't have me in it at all. That thought smashed into my chest like a freight train. The sadness just drained right out of me. All that was left was white-hot anger. I must have looked like I was about to explode, 'cause everyone at the table started staring like I'd grown horns. Gina leaned in, voice all nervous. "Jack, you okay?" I didn't answer. Across the dance floor, for smoking hot young women were sitting in a booth, logging it up. I could see 'em clear as day, right over Gina's shoulder. Why the hell didn't Ryan go for one of them? And then, something inside me just snapped. I laughed. Not just a chuckle. I mean a full-on, bent-over, can't-breathe kind of laugh. Loud enough to make people at other tables look over like I'd lost my damn mind. Tears ran down my face as I howled. And when I finally got control, I wiped my eyes and grinned like a man who'd just been set free. That was it. Game over. I wasn't in a marriage anymore. I didn't need to worry about my wife's feelings 'cause, well, she clearly didn't give a damn about mine. Everyone around me was quiet, staring, probably wondering if I was about to throw a chair or have a heart attack. I looked Gina dead in the eye, took off my wedding ring, and dropped it right in her hand. "Give that to Rachel next time you see her," I said. Then I stood up, tossed a 10 on the table. "That's for my drink. Since y'all are such big fans of her screwing around, you can cover the rest." I walked off without looking back. Heard a couple of 'em call my name, but I didn't care. I was already planning what I'd do next. If one of the husbands followed me, ignored my warning, hell, I was ready to break a nose. As I walked out of that club, something in me shifted. Rachel was out having selfish fun? Fine. I'd do the same. I pulled up to the hotel we'd booked earlier, not even sure why I still went there. Habit maybe. Or maybe I just needed to see it for myself. The place where we were supposed to be together tonight. I walked up to the front desk, nodded at the young woman working there. "Y'all got any big rooms left? Something nice." She tapped on her computer for a second and said, "No regular suites left, but we've still got the honeymoon suite. Huge balcony, jacuzzi, the works." "Yeah," I said. "I'll take it." She blinked at me, kinda confused. "Wait, weren't you just checked in already?" "Yeah. My wife's staying in the first room. I'll be taking the honeymoon suite. And listen, if she asks about me, just say I checked out. Don't give her my key. Hell, don't even tell her I'm still in the hotel." The girl gave me this look, like she wasn't sure if I was serious or just crazy. Then she grinned a little. "Got it. I'll let the staff know." I grabbed the keycard and headed back up to the room we were supposed to share. Packed up my clothes, tossed Rachel's stuff right into the trash. Every last piece of it. Didn't take anything of hers with me. Not a damn thing. Then I took the elevator up to the top floor. Man, that suite was something else. Giant bed, marble bathroom, jacuzzi out on the balcony overlooking the whole city. I stood there for a second, staring at the skyline, breathing in that clean night air, and feeling like maybe I could finally breathe again. I threw on the tux I'd brought. Yeah, I had planned to surprise her with a fancy night out. Real funny. Huh? Joke's on me. But now, that tux was mine. For my night. I hit the ATM on the way back to the lounge and pulled out a fat stack of bills. I walked right past the long line outside like I owned the place. Doorman stepped in front of me. "Can I help you, sir?" I handed him a $100 bill and smiled. "You just did." He stepped aside, grinning, and I walked in like I never left. Same club, same music, same damn people. My old so-called friends were still sitting at that table, pretending not to see me. I didn't even glance their way. I had something else in mind. I scanned the lounge, looking for that one table, the one I remembered from earlier. And yep, there they were. Four gorgeous ladies sitting near the dance floor, Logan drinking, having the time of their lives. Not a guy in sight. Probably a bachelorette party or something. Perfect. I walked past my old cruise table without blinking. Gina tried to wave me down, but I kept on moving. My eyes were locked on the ladies. Now tell me, I said with a grin, as I stepped up to their table. How come four beautiful women like y'all are sitting here without any guys around? The tall brunette threw her head back and laughed. We're here cheering up our girl, she said, nodding to the petite redhead across from her. Some idiot dumped her for a piece of trash, so now we're making sure she knows it's his loss. The redhead blushed and smiled at me. She was something else. Soft eyes, bright smile, fire in her hair. Well, I said, looking at her. If y'all don't mind, I'd love a dance. Might not fix everything, but maybe I can help her forget him for a song or two. She grinned, reached out her hand, and let me help her up. We hit the floor, the music was bouncing, and we moved like we'd danced together 100 times. I leaned in and asked, So what's your name? Emily, she said. Yours? Jack. Well, Jack, how could anyone let a woman like you go? I asked, smiling. Your ex must have been blind, or just plain stupid. She laughed, shook her head. He was an ass, no other way to put it. I told her she deserved way better, and I meant it. As we danced, I found out she was studying to be a nurse, grew up just outside the city, and had a wicked sense of humor. When the fast song faded and a slow one came on, she didn't let go, neither did I. We swayed together, nice and slow. Then she leaned in and asked, You married? I took a breath. Not anymore. She paused, then asked, Was that your wife dancing with Ryan Caldwell earlier? I gave her a small smile. Yeah. And I think you found out we broke up at the same moment I did. Emily looked at me. Really looked. Like she knew exactly what that meant. We danced closer after that. Nothing rushed. Just warm. Real. By the end of the song, she led me back to her table, arm wrapped around mine. She looked at her friends. I know we said no guys at the table tonight, she said. But I want Jack to stay. The brunette, Tessa, I'd later learn, rolled her eyes. Ugh, we did agree on that. I smiled. How about I buy a couple bottles of your best champagne to make it up to you? She smirked. Bribery works. I flagged down the waitress. 2 bottles of your fanciest stuff, I said, and everyone cheered. Then I turned to the ladies and introduced myself proper. Their names were Bella, Tessa, and Hannah, all studying to be nurses like Emily. We toasted, we drank, and for the first time in what felt like years, I laughed like I meant it. The champagne was flowing. The girls were buzzed and giggly, and Emily never once let go of my arm. Tessa, still playing the skeptical one, leaned over. So, Jack, be honest. You and your wife, open relationship. I laughed. Not even close. Bella chimed in. So what did she tell you before sneaking out the back with Ryan? Bathroom break, I said, thumbing behind me. Then poof, gone. Gina and the rest covered for her. Tessa rolled her eyes. Figures. Waitress dropped off the champagne. I poured for everyone. Here's to better choices, I said. They raised their glasses, all shouting, hell yes, in unison. As we drank, they told me jokes. I threw in a few of my own, and the whole table lit up with laughter. They danced, teased each other, flirted with the guys nearby, but Emily stayed close. Her arm draped around my shoulders like it belonged there. At one point, Gina tried to make her way over from the old cruise table, but before she could get close, Tessa stepped in. We couldn't hear the words, but we saw Tessa jabbing her finger in Gina's chest, letting her have it. Gina ended up sitting back down with tears in her eyes while Tessa strutted back to us like she just won a bar fight. You're officially protected, she said, grabbing her glass and smiling. I leaned toward Emily. Your friends are something else. She smiled back. Yeah, they're a little nuts, but they're mine. I raised my glass. To your crazy crew. She clinked hers against mine and said, To you, Jack, for not being one of the bad ones. That's when she kissed me. Right there. Soft, slow, but with a fire behind it. Her friends started cheering and hollering. Bella yelled, "Get a room!" I grinned. Funny you say that. I've got one. A honeymoon suite. Just a block away. They gasped like a rom-com was playing out in real life. Y'all look like you couldn't drive even if you tried. I added. Why don't we all go finish the party over there? Everyone was in. I paid the tab and the four of us made our way to the hotel. Emily clutching my arm, the other three using us for balance. At the front desk, I ordered more champagne. When the receptionist heard we were heading to the honeymoon suite, she gave us this raised eyebrow look. The girls just burst out Logan. Riding the elevator up, they started humming the wedding march, totally off-key, but loud and proud. Emily turned beet red, clinging to me tighter, whispering, "You don't have to carry me over the threshold." I didn't say a word, just scooped her up in my arms as the girls cheered behind us. Inside, she wrapped her arms around my neck and kissed me deep. I set her down, but before I could even get my jacket off, Tessa, Bella, and Hannah had already ditched most of their clothes and were sitting in the jacuzzi, giggling like kids at summer camp. Emily held my hand, pulled me close. "Come on," she whispered. "Let's leave the party to them." We slipped into the bedroom, her friends shouting, "Wedding march!" From the balcony behind us, still Logan. That night was something I didn't think I'd ever feel again. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't even about sex. It was freedom. Next morning, I woke up with Emily wrapped around me like a warm blanket. The king-sized bed was pure chaos. Champagne glasses tipped over, blankets tangled, and 3 other women snoring softly in random positions across the mattress. Somewhere in the night, the girls must have climbed into our room after passing out in the jacuzzi. I slipped out of bed real slow, not wanting to wake anyone. Emily's eyes blinked open. She smiled at me, voice all sleepy and sweet. "Hey, morning," I whispered. She stretched, still smiling. "Did you have fun, Jack?" I looked right at her. Best damn night of my life. She leaned over, kissed me on the cheek. "Any regrets?" "Not a single one." Then she grinned. "Want to take a shower with me?" Didn't need to ask twice. The second we got in, she pressed her body against mine and wrapped her arms around my neck. The shower was steaming, and the way she moved, soft, confident, wanting me like nobody had in years. It hit different. It wasn't wild like the night before. It was intimate, real. We didn't say a whole lot. We didn't have to. By the time we stepped out, the others were already half awake, all of them looking hungover but happy. Tessa, wrapped in a towel, stretched and yawned. Damn, that shower sounded like a 5-star experience. The girls started cackling, throwing teasing jabs as Emily turned red and hid behind me. We ordered room service, mimosas, and greasy food to fight off the hangover. Between bites and sips, we all joked and laughed like old friends. Eventually, the girls headed out one by one, leaving just Emily and me in the quiet. "Can you give me a ride home?" she asked, still curled up close to me. "Course," I said. "Let's go." She cuddled into me the whole drive back. Didn't say much until we pulled into her apartment lot. Then she turned to me, real serious now. "Jack, I know what your wife did was awful, and if you ever feel like going back to her, I'd understand. But if you don't, I'd really like to see you again." She smiled, hopeful but not desperate. I looked her in the eye. "Emily, I'm not going back to her. Not now. Maybe not ever. I had a hell of a night with you, and I'd like to keep seeing where this goes." She kissed me. Long, slow, sweet. When she opened her door and stepped inside, I saw Tessa lounging on the couch. She waved at me with a grin like she already knew everything. As I drove off, I realized something simple but powerful. I wasn't making decisions based on anger anymore. I wasn't trying to punish Rachel. I was moving on. I got home and dropped into a chair in the dark. Didn't even turn on the lights. Just sat there, thinking. Everything that happened, it still didn't solve the real problem. I was still married to Rachel, and I still had kids to think about. At some point, I don't even know how long, I heard a car in the driveway. Then the key in the lock. Jack? Jack, I'm home, she called out, like she'd just come back from the grocery store. Her voice was so damn normal, it made my skin crawl. She stepped inside, flipped on the lights, and there she was. Same blue dress, same done-up hair, same damn rings on her fingers. Like nothing ever happened. Like she hadn't just spent the whole night screwing another man. She smiled. It's just me. Same ol' me. Of course she knew what I was thinking. She was trying to pretend like we could go back to normal. My love for you hasn't changed, she added, all soft and sweet. I looked her dead in the eyes, cold as stone. I wish I could say the same. She blinked, taken aback. I pointed toward the bedroom. Don't start. Go take a shower. She hesitated, trying to speak. But I didn't budge. I just kept pointing. She finally turned and walked upstairs without another word. When she came back down, hair wet, wearing fresh clothes, she looked around. Jack, where are my clothes from last night? Probably still in the hotel room, where you left them. You didn't bring them back? Nope. Was there something important in there? She opened her mouth, maybe to complain, but then realized anything she said would sound pathetic. She went quiet. Why'd you do it, Rachel? She sighed. It was Ryan Caldwell. He's rich, famous, and when he asked me to dance, I felt like the most important woman in the room. She smiled like it was some kind of cherished memory. And that was the moment, the exact second, I knew we were done. She'd always remember that night with Ryan as something special. More special than anything she ever shared with me. You love him? I asked. No, it was just sex. I love you, Jack. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was so damn sad. You and I clearly have different definitions of what it means to love somebody. Her eyes went wide like she couldn't believe I wasn't buying her story. I came back to you because I love you. I leaned forward. Let me ask you something. If Ryan had asked you to stay, to be his girlfriend, his wife, would you be here right now? She hesitated, and that was all I needed. You hesitated, Rachel. She opened her mouth to defend herself, but I shut it down. Pack a bag. You and the kids are staying with your parents for a week. I need time to figure things out. But Jack, the discussion's over. If we keep talking now, it's not going to go how you want it to. My voice was calm, but full of steel. She saw it. She felt it. So she packed. And the second she was out the driveway, I got to work. The moment Rachel's car disappeared down the street, I picked up my phone and called my boss. Hey, I need 2 weeks off. Family stuff. Didn't wait for much back and forth. Just hung up, grabbed my keys, and drove straight to the hardware store. Bought lumber, drywall, paint, hinges, locks, and 2 damn front doors. Clerk looked at me like I was building Noah's Ark. Back home, I started with the front entrance. Ripped the whole thing out, door, frame, side windows, all gone. Then I built a brand new wall right down the center of the house. Installed 2 separate doors. Mine on the left, hers on the right. Boom. 2 homes. 1 building. I wasn't done. Put in a second back door for my new side. Rewired some of the lights, and started laying out the new kitchen. I turned the old office into my bedroom, flipped the dining room into a bedroom for her side, and started rearranging everything until the layout mirrored itself like some kind of emotional Rorschach test. Even made a plan to build another garage on my side, since hers still had the original one. Petty? Maybe. But screw it. I changed the garage door code, changed the locks, and put up a fence in the backyard. Split it right down the middle like a damn courtroom ruling. Now it was official, 2 homes. 2 lives. 0 confusion. Every day I worked 16 hours straight, hammering, cutting, painting. And when I wasn't building, I was on the phone. Moved all our savings into an account with just my name on it, had my paycheck routed there too. If Rachel wanted half, she'd have to fight me in court. And she'd lose. Couple days later, I called Emily. Thought you forgot about me, she teased. Couldn't stop thinking about you, I said. Actually, I was wondering, you feel like taking a little trip this weekend? Where to? Costa Rica. she gasped. Are you serious? Pack a swimsuit, your phone, and your passport. We'll buy everything else there. I booked first-class tickets, a 5-star resort, and didn't blink at the price. Funny thing is, since Rachel would take half my money in the divorce anyway, it felt like she was paying for half the trip. Felt poetic, honestly. Thursday morning, I sat outside on a lawn chair, waiting like it was any normal day. Except the house behind me? Not normal anymore. Not even close. Rachel pulled up with the kids in the back seat. I could see it the moment they stepped out. That wide-eyed, slack-jawed look that said, "What the hell happened here?" Lily, my daughter, spoke first. "Dad, what did you do?" I smiled and stood up. Turned the house into a split home. "You like it?" All three of them just stared at me like I'd lost my damn mind. "Don't worry," I said. "I already finished the right side. Moved your stuff to your new rooms." I gave them a quick tour of her side. Smaller living room, adjusted bedrooms, everything neat and ready. Mason, my boy, frowned. "But the living room's tiny now." "Yeah," I nodded. "But you won't notice once I build a garage and throw in a pool with a jacuzzi." That got a smile out of him. Rachel stood in the hallway, watching like she wanted to say something, but I just followed the kids, helping them settle in, acting like she wasn't even there. We ate sandwiches I picked up from a deli, sitting at the kitchen table like some version of normal. Then Lily looked up and said, "Dad, what's all this really about?" She was watching Rachel when she said it. Not me. That told me everything. After spending the last few days with their mom, the kids knew something was up, and they knew she wasn't telling em the truth. "Oh, I said, trying to keep it light. "You two are growing up fast. This house wasn't gonna stay the same forever. Just getting ready for the next chapter." Mason tilted his head. "Couldn't you have talked to us first?" I grinned. "Actually, your mom came up with the idea." I looked straight at Rachel, and that caught her way off guard. Lily turned, shocked. "Mom? Why didn't you tell us?" Rachel stammered, clearly scrambling for an answer. It was a misunderstanding. Your father just misunderstood how I felt." I raised an eyebrow. "Oh, I understood just fine." Rachel's face went pale. The kids were quiet, confused, and a little scared. After lunch, I sat him down. "Listen," I said. "I'm going out of town for a few days. Just a little trip. I'll call you each night, but I'll be out of signal most of the time. So don't worry." Lily looked at me, her eyes searching my face. "Are you and Mom divorcing?" I didn't answer right away, just gave her a soft smile. "We're not living together anymore. That's all you need to know for now." They both nodded, but I could tell they understood more than they let on. I kissed the tops of their heads, grabbed my bag, and walked out the door. Didn't say goodbye to Rachel. Didn't even look at her. I was already gone. I picked Emily up from her apartment that afternoon, and the second she climbed into my car, the whole damn week just melted off my shoulders. She leaned over, gave me a kiss on the cheek. "Still can't believe we're doing this," she said, grinning like a kid headed to Disneyland. "Oh, it's real," I said. "Bags packed. Only thing I forgot was my worries." She winked. "First class, ocean view, 5-star resort. Yeah, it was expensive. But who cares? Half of it technically belonged to Rachel anyway, and I figured, might as well let her chip in for my happiness for once. And man, that weekend was everything I didn't know I needed. We laid on the beach, drank fruity cocktails straight out of pineapples, danced barefoot in the sand, and made love like two people who had nothing holding them back. Emily wasn't just beautiful. She was easy to be around. No drama, no hidden agenda, just sunshine, sarcasm, and soft skin that smelled like coconut. By the end of the trip, I knew every inch of her. And not just her body, her laugh, her quirks, the way she scrunched her nose when she thought too hard. When Tuesday rolled around, I didn't want to leave. Neither did she. At her door, after I dropped her off, she turned to me and asked, "Do you want to stay one more night?" God, I wanted to. "Yeah," I said. "But you've got class tomorrow, and I've got life waiting." She smiled. "Call me before bed?" "You know I will." One last kiss, slow and warm. The kind that lingers on your mouth even after the door closes. As I drove home, I couldn't wipe the smile off my face. That night, Emily had said something that stuck with me. I could see myself falling for a guy like you. And you know what? I could see myself falling right back. I pulled up to the curb and parked in front of my side of the house. Made sure not to even touch her driveway. The tan on my skin was still fresh. My bag still smelled like salt and sunshine. And my mind? Crystal clear. That's when I heard the knock. I opened the door, and there she was, Rachel. You're back. Looks like it. Can we talk? Sure. But not in here. I said, not even move in an inch. She tried to step forward. No. I cut in. You're not allowed on this side. This is my space now. Her eyes flickered, like she couldn't believe I was serious. But I was dead serious. Rachel blinked a few times, nodded slowly, then turned and walked back to her side. Later, we sat at her kitchen table. I only agreed because the kids were on the other side of the house, and I wanted to keep the peace. Jack, I still love you, she said, reaching for my hand. I didn't flinch. That won't be enough. Why not? I just want things to go back to the way they were. I gave a tired smile. That's the thing. You want things to feel the same. I don't. But you made a choice, Rachel. You walked out of that club with Ryan like I was a coat hanging on the wall. If that had been our first date, you think there would have been a second. But it was just one night. It was Ryan Caldwell. I don't care if it was Santa Claus in a tux. You picked someone else over me. She opened her mouth, desperate to explain, but I leaned in. You didn't trip and fall into his bed. You planned it. You lied. You snuck out the back. You chose him step by step. So now, don't look surprised when I don't choose you. Her lip trembled. You want a fair shot? You want me to listen to how I'm overreacting, how I should suck it up for the kids, how you were just feeling seen for once. Well, guess what? I was the guy who saw you every damn day. You just stopped seeing me. She reached out again, but this time I pulled back. It's too late, Rachel. Her hands dropped like I burned her. Too late, she whispered. I nodded. I met someone. Her name's Emily. Redhead. Young. Sweet. She danced with me while you were out screwing Ryan. And she didn't lie about it. Rachel's face crumbled like wet paper. And yeah, we spent 4 days in Costa Rica. You know, that dream vacation we always talked about but never took? It was incredible. She looked like she wanted to scream, and maybe she would have. But when she saw the grin I couldn't keep off my face, she knew the damage was done. She opened her mouth, finger ready to point, but then she didn't. She just shut it. Sat there, hands folded, staring at the table like it might answer her prayers. For once, she had nothing left to say. And for the first time, I didn't need to hear anything. Later that evening, I walked the kids through my side of the house. Showed them the layout, talked through my plans, kitchen facelift, big glass wall facing the future pool, maybe even a fire pit. They nodded politely, but I could see the questions floating behind their eyes. Then Mason spoke first. Dad, why do you need 2 bedrooms? Because this side's mine now, I said. And that side's your mom's. You can stay wherever you feel like on any given day. Lily frowned. So you and Mom, are you getting divorced? I paused. Let's just say, we're not together anymore. She looked down. Mom doesn't really say anything when we ask. She just acts like everything's fine. I sighed. Yeah, she's trying to keep it from feeling real. But it is. Before I could say more, Rachel poked her head in from her side of the house. Dinner's ready. We all walked back over, sat down, and tried to eat like a normal family. It was dead silent, until Mason blurted, louder than he probably meant to, I'm moving into Dad's side when he finishes my room. Rachel's fork clattered against her plate. She looked stunned. Then Lily slammed her hand on the table. Who changed? She demanded, eyes shooting between us. I want to know. No one spoke. I just looked at Rachel. She stared at her plate like it might save her. Then, slowly, her eyes filled up. She started to cry. The kids got their answer without me saying a word. I stood up and helped Rachel to her room. She could barely walk straight. I sat her on the bed, pulled a blanket over her, kissed her forehead like she was a scared kid who had made a huge mistake. Which, in a way, she was. Then I went to check on Mason. He was texting his friends, earbuds in. I asked if he wanted to talk. No, not really, he said. Then I went to Lily's room. She was curled up, eyes red. Why'd she do it, Dad? I wish I knew. You can't just forgive her, she said. I mean, if you do, I don't know if I can forgive myself. I hugged her. We're still a family. Just not the same kind of family anymore. I want us to stay together. We are. But I'm not gonna sleep in the same room with your mom again. She nodded, tears running down her cheeks, and whispered, I love you. I love you too, baby girl. I went back to my side of the house that night and sat down alone, but at peace. This was the new normal, and I was okay with that. Days started flowing like warm coffee on a slow morning. I'd wake up before the kids, head to work from my side of the house, and no one even noticed I was gone. Rachel and I traded off driving the kids to practice, hanging with their friends, taking them to school events. But not once did I ever sit next to her again. If we ended up in the same row at a school function, I'd make some excuse, head to the restroom, and come back standing somewhere else. It wasn't out of spite. I just didn't want anyone thinking we were still us. Funny thing was, I never stood alone long. There was always a single mom or two nearby, sliding up and asking questions. Some were subtle, some not so much. And yeah, I told the truth. We're separated. That answer landed like a firecracker every time. Meanwhile, I'd been building out my side of the house. New kitchen cabinets, new couch, new entertainment system with a TV big enough to spot craters on the moon. Upgraded my wardrobe, too. Slim-fit jeans, new boots, shirts that didn't scream, Dad in survival mode. Then I bought a convertible. Bright, shiny, loud, fast. Rachel saw me back it into the driveway and nearly choked. Jack, she said, can we even afford all this? That car must have cost a fortune. I grinned. My last car was 8 years older than yours. You've had 2 new ones since then. I figured I was due. She blinked. And as for everything else, I added, what? You thought I was gonna live in some dusty shack while you kept all the fancy furniture? I'd be happy to share it, she said, trying to sound sweet. I never liked your taste in furniture, I said calmly. I just never said anything, 'cause I wanted you to be happy. I let that one sit. She didn't say much after that. I ended the conversation with, house is paid off. Kids'll be gone in a few years. I'll probably rent out my side. I'll be just fine. She gave me that flirty old smile, the one that used to mean somebody's getting lucky tonight, and squeezed my shoulder. You look good, she said. New clothes, new car. You've been working out. Thanks, I said. But I can't take all the credit. Mason and Lily pushed me to get the convertible, and Emily helped me pick out the new wardrobe. She's got great taste. Rachel's hand slipped off my shoulder like I just said a dirty word. Oh, she muttered, then turned and walked away. Thing is, I wasn't trying to rub Emily in her face. But she was part of my life now. And yeah, I was proud of that. Emily started spending more and more time on my side of the house. Weekends, even weeknights. She got along great with the kids. Mason moved into my guest room permanently, and Lily hung out with Emily like she was the cool older sister she never had. The only time Rachel pushed back was when I invited Emily to our usual family dinners, for the second time. Rachel smiled politely, but her jaw was tight the whole night. Everyone could feel it. Next morning, she caught me on the porch. Jack, I appreciate you being civil, she said. But I wish you wouldn't bring your girlfriend to our family dinners. That's supposed to be our time. Just us and the kids. I didn't even blink. Tell you what, if Emily's not invited, then I won't come. But the kids are always welcome to join me and her anytime we cook on my side. Her mouth opened, then shut. I kept going. Emily's part of my life now, and she gets along great with the kids. So if she's out, I'm out too. Rachel looked like she might cry. I'm sorry I brought it up, she said, voice all shaky. Emily's welcome anytime. I nodded. Good. That was the last time she tried to set rules. Once the pool and hot tub were finished, the backyard turned into party central. Especially for Mason. See, Emily's friends, Bella, Tessa, and Hannah, started swinging by more often. Not for me. For him. They flirted shamelessly. They were in full competition mode, seeing who could make the poor kid blush the fastest. At first it was just playful. Swimsuits got a little tighter, laughs got a little louder. Then one afternoon, Christy, sorry Tessa, jumped into the pool, swam right up to Mason, and planted a kiss on his cheek. Pressed her chest against him too. The kid froze like someone had hit pause on the remote. He stayed in that pool for a solid 10 minutes, even though the water was definitely not warm. Let's just say Mason won. Hands down. From that point on, his confidence went through the roof. He even started dating a girl at school. Once Emily's friends met her, they backed off. Treated her like she was royalty. They meant well. It was just their way of showing approval. And I'll be honest, it felt good seeing my son smile like that again. After all the mess, the tension, the tears, it was nice watching life feel normal again. Emily fit right in, too. She wasn't just my girlfriend. She became part of the family rhythm. She joked with Lily, gave Mason advice he actually listened to, helped cook dinner, set up movie nights. Meanwhile, Rachel? Still on the other side of the house. And no, I didn't let her come over. Not out of spite. I just didn't want her stepping into the space I'd rebuilt. This was my life now. My rules. My peace. Time passed. Emily graduated. Life started shifting again. We were still close, real close, but I could see it in her eyes. The gears were turning. She was thinking about her future. New cities. New plans. New version of herself. It all came to a head when we went to Harper's big day, her best friend's wedding. We danced, drank champagne, smiled for photos. But somewhere in between the toasts and the cake, I saw it. That moment. That look. She looked at me like I was almost perfect. And almost hurts a hell of a lot more than not at all. After the wedding, we sat on the balcony of our rented beach suite. Wind blowing. Waves crashing. Everything beautiful except the weight in the air between us. I turned to her. You're thinking about move in, aren't you? She didn't deny it. Just seeing what else is out there, she said. Not leaving you. I just need to stretch a little. I nodded. I got it. I really did. So I asked her, soft and honest, would you want to start a life with me? Like, build something together? She didn't answer right away. Not out of cruelty, just conflict. Her heart wanted to say yes, but her gut whispered, maybe not yet. I care about you more than I've ever cared about anyone, she said. But you're ahead of me. You've lived. I'm still trying to figure out who I am. That hit deep. And she was right. She wasn't ready to plant roots in a garden I'd already started. So I took a breath, held her hand, and smiled. If you ever change your mind, I said, you know where I'll be. We held each other that night. Nothing rushed. Nothing bitter. Just quiet. The kind of goodbye that ain't really a goodbye. More like a see you in another life. Few years later, Emily had moved on. I'd moved out too, rented my side of the house, got myself a small condo by the coast. Waves, breeze, and peace. Then one afternoon, after Lily left for college, I saw Rachel standing in the driveway. Can we talk? She asked, her voice softer than I remembered. I nodded. Go ahead. I still love you, Jack, she said. I made a huge mistake, and I've regretted it every single day. She reached into her pocket, pulled out a necklace. Hanging from it was the gold band I'd given to Gina, the one I took off the night Rachel chose someone else. I haven't dated anyone since, she said. I know you haven't been serious with anyone either since Emily. Maybe we could just try, just to see how it feels. She held out the necklace, her hand trembling. I looked at her, really looked. She still had the same eyes, the same voice, but something was missing, and I realized what it was. Trust. You still don't get it, do you? I said. That night. You thought you were testing my love for you. But really, it was a test of your love for me. She blinked, stunned. I gave you everything, trust, loyalty, my whole damn soul. And when Ryan Caldwell so much as smiled at you, you threw it all away for one night of feeling special. It didn't mean anything, she whispered. Exactly, I said. It didn't mean anything. And that's the part that broke me. She tried to interrupt, but I shook my head. You loved the idea of us, the perfect marriage, the steady guy, the safe home. But you didn't love me. Not the way I loved you. You liked being trusted, but didn't care what that trust meant. She stood frozen, still holding the necklace. You didn't just lose a husband, I said. You lost me. The version of me that believed in you. She started to cry. I can't be near you anymore, Rachel, I said gently. I'll always care. But I can't give you another chance to do what you already did. I turned to leave, then paused. Funny thing is, I used to think we were us against the world. Turns out, the world was just me. And with that, I walked away. No anger, no bitterness, just peace. Because sometimes the best revenge is outgrowing the one who broke you.